So, welcome to Jumbo IS and welcome to lecture number 2 of history in this lecture series called Prelims Powerplay 2026. In this lecture series, we will cover all the current affairs and the related static topics. As you all know, even the questions in your prelims examination from static topics are the ones which had some connection with current affairs. Therefore, those static concepts which have some connection with current affairs or were featured in current affairs, well, they have a high probability of featuring in your exams. So in this lecture series, subject-wise, we will cover all current affairs and the related static topics. Now make sure that you follow these 4 steps if you really want to get the benefit of this lecture series. Okay, what are these 4 steps? Well, number 1, watch the lecture on time. Every day at 9 p.m. this lecture would arrive. Just be regular with it. Don't miss out on any lecture and don't collect this huge backlog of lectures. Number 2 is memorize the notes given along with this lecture. Memorize the notes. It's very important if you really want to retain this information till your exams. Then number 3, naturally you'll have some doubts. Ask your doubts. You'll be enrolled in WhatsApp groups. Over there you can ask any of your doubts related to any of the GS subject and we will entertain everything. And the group is active 24/7. So ask your doubts over there. Be proactive with that. And number 4, step number 4, along with this lecture series, we are going to give you a test series as well. An exhaustive list of tests would be given to you. Be regular with those tests. What I generally see is that you study everything, but you're not regular with tests. Don't do that. They are very important. Critical, in fact, for your preparation. So be regular with the tests. Now, the thing is that as far as the lectures are concerned, they would drop on YouTube every day. But for notes, for WhatsApp groups and for the tests, you have to register on our app or on our website. The registration links are given in the comment section below. Along with that, there is also a number. So in case you're finding any difficulty for registering for this batch, well, you can just WhatsApp us on that number and we will help you out with the registration process. Okay, so start with this lecture series now. It's very important because through this lecture series, you will get to revise your syllabus for GS for prelims examination, and for that you just have to spend 1 hour every day. That's it, 1 hour, provided you start now. Okay, enough of the introduction. Let's get back to today's lecture, and our today's topic of discussion is Dilmun civilization. Now, why was Dilmun civilization in the news? Well, recently archaeologists from Bahrain and from Denmark, they did an excavation and they found a temple. Well, that temple belonged to the ancient Dilmun civilization. Now, why are we talking about it? Yes, a temple was found somewhere in Bahrain or an island of Kuwait. A temple was found. Why is it important for us? Why is Dilmun civilization important for us? For some of you, well, you might not have even heard about this civilization. But Dilmun civilization was a contemporary of Indus Valley civilization and traded extensively with Indus Valley civilization. Now, it becomes important for us to know about Dilmun civilization now that it has featured in current affairs also. So that is why today we are going to talk about Dilmun civilization, and we'll also talk about the big four civilizations which were contemporaries. Indus Valley civilization, Egyptian civilization, ancient Chinese civilization, and Mesopotamian civilization. Okay, these were the big 4 civilizations that we should know about. Okay, along with Dilmun civilization, but Dilmun civilization was not that huge. So we'll talk about the big 4 later in the later part of the lecture. But first, let's talk about Dilmun civilization because Dilmun civilization featured extensively in the news. Okay, so there is a high chance they might ask a question related to that. Okay, so let's begin. So history lecture 2, Dilmun civilization. So why was this civilization in the news? Okay. A significant archaeological discovery at Failaka Island, Kuwait. The island is in Kuwait, where 4,000-year-old temple from the Bronze Age, Dilmun civilization was unearthed by joint Kuwaiti and Danish team. Denmark and Kuwaiti team, not Bahrain team. Okay, Kuwait and Denmark. It confirms the island's importance as a major religious and administrative center during that period. Okay, this discovery of this huge temple complex. Artifacts like seals, pottery, beads, carved fragments demonstrate the complex cultural and commercial life of Dilmun people. And it also emphasizes Failaka. Failaka is an island that is in the possession of Kuwait, but Failaka Island was part of Dilmun civilization. Okay. Now, the thing is, Dilmun civilization was a contemporary of ancient Mesopotamian civilization and Indus Valley civilization. Now, to give you a better understanding of this civilization, well, let's take a look at this map. Okay, so this is where Dilmun civilization is. This is Persian Gulf. These are the modern countries. And Dilmun civilization basically, for the most part, was in Bahrain and some parts of Saudi Arabia and other countries. This Failaka island is over here, if you can see this. So it is close to Kuwait, in Kuwait's possession. Failaka island is here. This was also part of Dilmun civilization, but this was Dilmun civilization and some part of Iran also. Okay, this. Just remember this. Okay. Now let's gather some key information about Dilmun civilization, and then we'll talk about its connection with the great Indus Valley civilization, which is part of our syllabus. Okay. So key facts about Dilmun. By the way, Dilmun in ancient times was known as land of copper, because all the other civilizations which had trading relations with Dilmun, well, they imported copper from it, including Indus Valley civilization. It has been firmly established that Indus Valley civilization created a lot of copper tools and bronze tools. Even for bronze, they required copper. They imported copper from other parts of Rajasthan and Dilmun. That is why it is known as land of copper. Indus Valley people imported copper from here. Mesopotamians imported copper from here. Okay, that is why it is called land of copper. Just remember this part. Dilmun civilization first emerged around 3200 BCE as a modest trading civilization, and became recognized regional power by 3000 BC. Okay, it flourished mainly during 2200 to 1600 BC, around late Harappan period, with an eventual decline after 1600 BC. Okay, after its decline, it was absorbed by the Mesopotamian civilization and the emerging Persian civilization. Okay, now about its location. Present day Bahrain, complete country of Bahrain was part of Dilmun. Falaka island of Kuwait, some parts of Saudi Arabia, Qatar, Oman, and Iranian coast of Persian Gulf. As you can see, Saudi Arabia, Qatar, Oman, some parts of Oman, Bahrain, Kuwait, the island of Falaka, and some parts of Iran. Okay, this was the location of Dilmun civilization. Now, let's gather some more information. Okay, certain key features from where questions can be asked. So, key features. First of all, its economic role. So, it acted as a trade and transshipment center for goods such as copper, pearls, dates, pottery, precious stones, and other commodities. Basically, what happened was, please pay close attention. There was flourishing trade between Mesopotamia and Indus Valley civilization. There was flourishing trade. Okay. Now, when there was this sea trade between Mesopotamia and Indus Valley civilization, Dilmun lies in between. So it acted as a halt area, stoppage area, or trade and transshipment center, where goods from Indus Valley or Mesopotamian would come, then loaded on small ships and taken to other areas. Okay. So that is why, because it was at the center of the two civilizations, trade route of between the two civilizations, it was important. Plus, it had a lot of copper also. So copper was also basically imported from this civilization. Basically, what used to happen was that if Mesopotamians wanted to buy something from Indus Valley civilization, the Indus Valley civilization people would sell it in Dilmun, and traders from Mesopotamia would come and buy it from traders in Dilmun. You understand transshipment. So that is its connection with Indus Valley civilization. Then archaeology, known for large burial mounds. They used to bury their dead in large mounds. The larger the mound, the higher the status of the person who was being buried. So royal people were buried in huge mounds. Okay, and you have unearthed a lot of temples also, Berber temple and those recently discovered on Failaka Island. Now there is some knowledge about its political history as well. Dilmun likely functioned as an independent kingdom with its capital at Kalatal, Bahrain, which is in current Bahrain, evidenced by royal inscriptions and royal burial mounds. Like I said, the bigger the status, the bigger the mound. Okay. Now, one more thing. Do you know that Indus Valley civilization's script has not been deciphered yet? So we do not know what Indus Valley civilization people called themselves. But Mesopotamian script has been deciphered. And in Mesopotamian records, written records, they mention Indus Valley civilization as Meluha. Some people say maybe Meluha is the ancient name of Indus Valley civilization, or even Indus Valley civilization people, Hadappans, used to call themselves as Meluhans. Okay, because Mesopotamian script, which was deciphered, mentions this territory as Meluha. Okay. Over time, it faced foreign influence. We are talking about Dilmun again, and controlled by Assyrian Empire, Babylonian Empire, and later Achaemenid, Persian Empire. Okay, it declined. All right. Now that's all you need to know about Dilmun civilization. That's all the information you need. Nobody would ask any question outside whatever we have just discussed or outside what is mentioned in your notes. But along with Dilmun civilization, we need to gather some information about 4 great civilizations of the past. These 4 great civilizations are known as 4 cradles of civilization. 4 cradles of civilization of the old world, ancient world. Okay? Why are they called cradles? Because it is believed civilization began from here. Okay? Now, among these 4, well, there is Indus Valley civilization, there is Egyptian civilization, there is Chinese civilization, and then there is Mesopotamian civilization. Okay, this is how these civilizations panned out on a map. The largest territory was with Harappan civilization. Okay, so Egypt, Mesopotamia, Harappa, and China. Yes. Now remember, we are talking about old days. And well, during old days, it was very important for these civilizations to be close to fresh water. That is why these 4 civilizations, these 4 cradles of civilization, cradle means birthplace of civilizations. These 4 birthplaces of civilizations were all river valley civilizations. Okay, if we talk about Chinese civilization, it was around Yellow River. If we talk about Indus Valley civilization, we all know it was Indus River and its tributaries. If we talk about Mesopotamian civilization, then it was the land between 2 rivers, Tigris and Euphrates. By the way, this territory, this Mesopotamia, is a territory which lies in modern day Iraq. And then Egyptian civilization, it was around Nile River, River Nile. So all these 4 important flourishing civilizations were river valley civilizations. Okay. Now in your notes, I have basically mentioned a table. I have basically imported a table in your notes. Okay. So I've pasted a table over there. And in that table, all the key information that you need to know about all these 4 civilizations is mentioned. For example, Mesopotamian civilization began in, so I'll write it down over here so that you remember. Its period was 3500 BC to 539 BC. For China, it was 2200 BC to, let's say, 700 BC. Okay. For Egypt, it was around 3200 BC to 30 BC. And for our very own Indus Valley civilization, we know about it: early phase, mature phase, late phase. But in broader terms, it is 3300 BC to 1800 BC. This was their time period. So most of them were contemporaries of each other and traded with each other. But yes, Chinese civilization was a little isolated from all these 3. Okay, so this is the thing. Now all the relevant information related to these 4 civilizations is given in a table form in your notes. So do check that out. It will help you memorize that also. Memorize this information also, because it is given in a tabular form with proper comparisons. So do check out the notes. By the way, in that table, a comparison has been made with respect to the scripts, the writing style of each of these civilizations. Okay, the scripts. So you might get confused while reading these complex terms when you read the notes. Okay, so I'll explain these complex terms over here in the lecture. So if we talk about the script of each of these civilizations, okay, let's talk about Mesopotamian civilization. By the way, remember, the Mesopotamia is an area. The civilization is called Sumerian civilization. And the people who were in this area were called Sumerians. Mesopotamia was the name given to this area by the Greeks. Okay, so we interchangeably use these two terms, Mesopotamian and Sumerian. Basically, Mesopotamia area was inhabited by Sumerian civilization. So they used cuneiform script. Okay, they used to write on stone tablets and it was wedge shaped. So it was the letters of their script had sharp edges. Okay, so it was cuneiform script, and it was pictographic in like originally, but it was cuneiform. Just remember, we'll talk about pictographic script. Egyptian script was called hieroglyphic script. It was pictographic. What do you mean by pictographic? Well, sounds and letters are represented by pictures. How? For example, for the sound L, there is this symbol in English language or the Latin script, English script. Okay. For the sound L or L, Egyptians used to draw a lion. Okay, a lion was drawn. When a line was written over any stone tablet, it meant L. You understand? So the symbols are pictures of different things. This is known as pictographic script. Now, Mesopotamians initially used pictographic script, but later they made proper symbols like A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H. Okay? But it was cuneiform. Egyptians used pictographic hieroglyphic script. Indus Valley people, well, the problem is Indus Valley civilization script has not been deciphered yet. So we do not know. But yes, it has not been deciphered, so we don't know anything about the symbols or anything. But we know one thing. Their writing style was Bostrophodon. Now, this is important information because a question can be asked because it is related to Indus Valley civilization. Among all these four, Indus Valley script was the only script that was Bostrophodon. Now, what do you mean by Bostrophodon? You've seen English or any of the Indian languages, Hindi, Tamil. It is written from left to right. But when you try to read Urdu, Persian, it is right to left. Yes, the writing style is you read from left to right in English and many Indian languages. And when you talk about Urdu and other Indian languages and Persian, that is right to left. Even Arabic also, right to left. Bostrophodon scripts are a little weird. You know how they work? Left to right in the first line, then right to left in the second line, then left to right in the third line. It alternates from left to right, right to left. So a person reads like this, like a snake. This is Bostrophodon. None of them were Bostrophodon. Mesopotamian civilization was mostly left to right only. Initially, it was vertical. You used to go vertical from up to down, but then it was left to right. Egyptians were also left to right. Chinese were also left to right. These were Bostrophodons. Okay. By the way, about Chinese, oracle bone script, their symbols were pictographic, but most of their writings were on bones. Okay, what they used to do was they used to carve certain letters on bones and then they used to heat the bone. The carvings used to widen up because of the heat. And that's how symbols were created. Basically, they used to write on bones and turtle shells. So that is why it is called oracle bone script. Okay. So the reason why I included this knowledge about scripts in today's lecture was because you might get confused when you read all these words in the table where we compare all these four cradles of ancient old world civilization. Clear? That's about it. Today's lecture was short and crisp, nonetheless important because these civilizations were talked about in the news. So it becomes very important for us to know about them because there is a high probability they might ask a surprise question in your prelims exam. All right. On that note, I would conclude today's lecture. So thank you so much for watching, everyone. And I'm sure it has added value to your preparation. I'm sure. You just have to be regular, consistent, and follow those 4 golden steps. Watch the lecture, revise and memorize it, ask your doubts, and be regular with the test. Do these 4 steps for 1 hour every day from now till your prelims examination, and you have a very high chance of clearing prelims and preparing for mains. So on that note, I'll be signing off. Well, with the promise of seeing you again with another topic in this lecture series called Prelims Powerplay. Thank you, everyone.